Hey there, Brooks here again, making one more video for today anyway. We'll see what comes after this. But I showed you on the previous video how to sort your data. So that was good. Showed you how to do a split screen. We got that taken care of and enter some absences. I did notice that when I look through my data, I have a couple of the same last names. So I'd want to add maybe a third sorting criteria so I can go by last name and then by first name and then by the timestamp. So that might be something you might want to do depending on what students you have. Also, I'm going to show you now to search to make sure that you didn't miss anyone, and then we'll jump into the hide rows that are no longer needed. So again, go back to my split screen. I got my attendance on one side. I've got my DES sheet on the other here. And I just want to make sure. So like I said, here I've got a student, Aiden Friedig. He usually checks in, surprised me that he hasn't. So I'm going to go over here and search to make sure. So I click anywhere on my spreadsheet and I hold the control key down and hit the letter F, and it will pop up a find in sheet bar. And so I would just type in, this one's Friedig. It's Friday. I keep saying that wrong. Sorry, Aiden. Hopefully he never sees this. So Friedig, and it shows me there's one of one. I can see there's one of one there, so I can scroll down and I'll scroll over to make sure there's the one it shows. And although on the 18th is the only one he checked in, so I'm correct on that one. Did not do on the 19th yet. Again, I'm going to check this on Friday before I send in my attendance sheet before I submit it. But Friday at noon is when we're going to post the attendance, or when Brianne's going to post it. So we got to make sure everything is updated, accurate by the Friday at noon for Wednesday and Thursday attendance, and only X's for absences. So once I've done that, I've done my searches and I've checked for incorrect absences. That's good to go. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at this. I'm going to go back to my Control F, find, and hit the X to get rid of that. So I've got a bunch of information on here, a bunch of data that is going to get very convoluted once I get all the weeks and weeks and weeks of absences. So I'm going to hide some rows. This is only hiding it. It does not get rid of it, doesn't delete it. It just puts it so that it's hidden, and so you can still work with just the current data. It doesn't get so messy. So I'm going to select the first row by clicking on the number 2 in the number column. That selects the whole first row. And then I'm going to scroll down to the last row. Now, before I click on the last row of data, I want to hold the Shift key down. Shift means select everything from the first selection to the last selection and everything in between. So now that selects all of the data in between. Instead of using Control and selecting a bunch at once, I'm going to select all of those. Once I've done that, then I just right-click anywhere and I select Hide Rows, and it tells me which rows I've highlighted. Notice I did not select my row 1. That's my header row. I don't want to hide that. I just want to hide all the data. So I'm going to do Hide Rows 2 through 37. That compresses everything behind the sheet basically, so it's not there. Now as I get new data coming in, it'll be the only data that I see. It's not messed up with the rest of the stuff. If I want to see my previous rows that I have hidden at any time, it's real easy. I just go up to, got to be careful, and go up to select, deselect everything there. Go up to your arrow and click on the little arrow, one of those little arrows that shows they're hidden. If I click on that arrow, then it shows all my data that was selected and it's hidden. So I can go back in and do checks again if I want to later. But that's a quick way to hide the data and make it not so messy. So I think we've covered everything there. Hopefully this is a helpful video and you're not annoyed by my voice, because I'm sure there will be more in the future. Feel free to email me anytime, any questions. I'll try to get back as soon as I can, and hopefully you're all doing well. Remember, wash your hands and don't touch your eyes.